Blizzard needs to announce Classic Plus. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone wants it.
Leaks are beloved by players, abhorred by developers, and abused by randoms looking for 5 minutes of fame. In almost all cases, leaks are false, and most of them are just fan fiction of what people want to happen.
True. Sadly, true.
Not what's actually coming. But even if they are false, people love to run with it, making videos, articles, and more about the what if it's real. And I can't blame them, because I let my head run wild with speculation as well. But as BlizzCon 2023 approaches, and Classic Plus and the future retail is on the line, the leaks are getting more numerous and more outlandish. There are already dozens of Reddit, MMO Champion, 4chan, X, formerly known as Twitter, and Discord threads all leaking across the internet. And honestly, if this many people knew what was coming, I'm sure someone would have made a leak that was more credible than a vaguely accurate sounding 4chan thread. But before we
I don't think people know. I don't think they have any idea. And I think also people make guesses and they say, oh yeah, this is what's going to happen for sure. And like they're right about two things, because if you pick 100 numbers between 1 and 100, you've got a pretty good chance of picking the right number, right?
dive into the
Yeah, that's pretty much true. But also, at the same time, let's remember, the people at the highest positions who know everything that's actually going to happen are not risking a leak. In reality, most of the time, leaks, especially for games, are happening at, like, the lowest intern level possible. And, well, there have been a lot of cases, honestly, where 4chan leaks were correct, by the way. And they were vague. They were really vague and unbelievable in a lot of cases, but they turned out to be true. So, the irony here is, if the leaks are true, usually they are the vague, stupid one-liners that sound plausible.
leaks. Let's clear the elephant in the room, and that's Chris Metzen returning. We all know that this signifies a return to a more Metzen-esque dramatic storytelling, and I'm all for it, because a little more green Jesus never hurt anyone. And thus, the leaks
I
of
always thought Thrall was I think Thrall's kind of boring now. I'm going to be
True. That's so unbelievably true. Troll was cool, but since Deathwing, Troll has been like a pussy.
honest. I think that the Garrosh should have killed Thrall and Wad. Like, that was the end. Like, I mean, come on. Thrall's good, but he's just like... I feel like Thrall has served his purpose in the story.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you go looking for it, you're going to find a lot of them. But we're looking at the trending leaks and whether there is any truth to them. So first off, we have Awakening, a leak that has many people discussing and actually considering it due to one fact. It was publicly posted before Chris Metzen announced his return. So it gave some due to one fact.
What is
We
this
have
here?
Awakening.
First Classic Plus expansion, $50. The whole idea is a what if the Dark Portal didn't open after Vanilla. Chris Metzen is the main head behind the project. Will reuse assets from TBC, Wrath, and Cataclysm to maintain the visual aspect of the classic era. This is a big W. New models will look like the reawakened Phase Hunter mount, like the one that was the
No
Burning
idea what that
Crusade
is.
expansion. New level cap is 70. Without new continents, Hyjal and Emerald Dream will be new zones. Idea is to finish the various vanilla quest lines that were lost in time. With the arrival of the Burning Crusade, High Elves and Ogres will be the new races respectively for the Alliance and the Horde. The first raid tier will be against the Scourge. Cataclysm Classic will happen after Wrath. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it does sound plausible because people have speculated Classic Plus, and Classic Plus is supposed to, yeah, be the continuation of World of Warcraft if, well, it stayed on Azeroth, and, you know, the Dark Portal technically didn't open. Yeah, so, this sounds very believable, doesn't it? Because it would make sense.
No, guys, like, half of that seems interesting, half of it doesn't. Like, there's a big part of me that doesn't want them to increase the level cap. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not sure if they should increase the level cap. And the
I kind of agree with that point, but, I have said this once, I will say it again, I have absolutely no faith in Blizzard as a gaming development company. And not increasing the level cap means one thing, that it's gonna be horizontal progression. And horizontal progression is really hard to do properly, okay? It's really hard to do even semi-properly. And we're talking about a gaming developer company that hasn't done anything even remotely of value in 15 years at the bare minimum. So trusting them with something like a horizontal content progression is is kind of like, really iffy in my opinion.
The reason why is that you don't have to. And the reason why you don't have to is because everything is done in baseline percentages. So this is why I think Classic WoW is actually the best for like not increasing the level cap. This is 1%.
I'm probably gonna agree with anything he says here, but I will also put the caveat on that most likely this is all just Blizzard randomly succeeding without thinking that that's even an option or a thing that they are doing.
No matter what. But if you're having new gear that is instead 14 crit, and then you go down to, like, let's say 30 crit, well, then now we're talking about like 3%. Now it's becoming more and more and more. And the reason why is that crit increases the value of
everything, essentially.
Let's say attack power. And attack power increases the value of haste. And then haste increases the value of mastery. I know mastery is not in Classic, but like you see the point. And so what ends up happening is that these numbers get so high that it's like insane. Whereas...
Hot take. I would absolutely be fine with things like haste and mastery from the current retail coming into Classic, but without the other problems that, the current world of... Like, the way that characters can be made, what the type of gear can be acquired in retail, I honestly don't think it's bad. I like haste, I like mastery, I think those are fun ways to make a character around, and I think they would be okay in Classic. I'm just against all the other stuff.
Keeping it at percentages is actually very smart, because you're not going to get to items that have like 15% crit on them. Like the only items that have 2% crit, it's like the neck off of fucking, what's it called? KT, Savage Gladiator chest, and like 3 other items. That's about it. The trinket from Rend Blackhand, or not Rend, the quest line. Like, that's it. So I actually think that percentages is what they should stick with, and they shouldn't even increase the level cap. There's, no power creep.
A leak that has many people discussing and actually considering it due to one.
You want to know who did a really great expansion without a massive amount of power creep?
Only Guild Wars.
I actually think the New World expansion and how it integrates into the content of the game
that's
expertly done.
That's bull. That's absolute bull. They increased the level cap. They didn't... The reason he's saying this is because New World increased the level cap by this much, and they increased the gear power by this much, okay? That's the only reason he's saying it. But the reality is, if New World does 2 or 3 more updates like this, or even just one more expansion like that, it's going to be the same story as, the typical Blizzard expansion. There's going to be power creep. New World just has introduced this much power creep. But World of Warcraft introduces this much power creep in patches, just big patches in, the expansion.
I'm very happy about it. It was probably one of the best implementations of an expansion I've ever seen. The expansion made the game bigger. When a lot of times expansions just make the game smaller. New World is fucking awesome now? Yeah.
No.
It was publicly...
No, we know that New World's expansion added just more of the same old. New World's expansion is not even an expansion. It added like 2 new mob types, and that's it. That's literally it. New World's expansion is not an expansion. It's just they sold you the same old stuff. And asmongold just likes New World. Can't blame him for that. If you like it, you like it. But still, that's where his opinion comes from. He just likes the game. So, introducing nothing new in New World is technically a dub for him because he just likes what already exists.
Posted before Chris Metzen announced his return, so it gave some more credibility and has many people considering this to be a legitimate leak, especially because it's also a grounded leak. Nothing extreme, obnoxious, stupid.
I really hate to say this. I think there's someone hanging right there.
Just valid things that you could see Blizzard doing. It's the first Classic Plus expansion, worth about $50, making it cheaper than a regular expansion. Chris Metzen is the head of the project, which later turned out to be true as he is now the executive creative director of all of World of Warcraft. The thing...
I'm not gonna lie, I think they snipped off Chris Metzen's balls probably when they got him back on this. Okay? It's not gonna be the dark droomy thing that, it was. I think they snipped his balls. There's no way.
though, that trips me up and has been cause for concern for many others is the reuse of assets from TBC, Wrath, and Cataclysm, mainly because those assets were designed for their respective expansions, and Cataclysm essentially redid all the models, so it'd be
Cataclysm was a quality increase. Now, if you saw this bow,
I don't know.
I would assume this bow
Didn't
came
play
out
Cataclysm.
in, like, Legion. This bow was added into the game in Burning Crusade, and it is still fresh. It still looks good. It is fucking insane how good this bow. Yes, this bow came out.
Wait, now that he mentions it, I kind of remember it, but in game it doesn't look this good. Did it?
It came from Archimond, right? Yeah, it came from Archimond. In Hyjal, in 2007, they made this. So I think that there are a number of items, even in Classic WoW, that look extremely
Did it look
good.
so good?
I'm gonna be real.
Sus.
I think these look amazing. Like, even in retail WoW, they still look very good. A good example that's not the exact same, this drops from Terran Gorefiend and Black Temple. This looks insanely fucking good.
Yeah?
Like, this still looks good, in my opinion. It is nuts. It's so nice. Now, again, I think the Legion bow, that bow, like, this bow clears everything else, right? Like, this is just, like, such a high quality, such a high design model. It's amazing. But, like, everything else is still, like, all I'm saying is there's a spectrum. And some of these pieces, even then, were just, like, insanely well designed.
jarring to have them in Classic Plus. Plus, this is a terrible idea as Blizzard has the technology and ability to make low-res, low-polygon textures and assets. It's art at the end of the day, and it's not something advanced or extremely difficult to do. Look at old-school RuneScape. The level cap being 70 makes sense as they're adding new content, new items.
I don't want to see the level cap increased. I don't.
Yep. I have also been an advocate of this. I want horizontal progression. Okay? I don't want vertical progression. I want horizontal progression. But I'm kind of fearful of Blizzard ruining it.
I don't want to see the level cap increase because what we'll do is it will invalidate all of the vanilla content. Yeah, because like the way combat tables work in the game is that whenever you're fighting content that's like the same level as you, it has a certain percentage to like hit and miss and stuff like that.
Yes.
So like if you take a character that has the exact same stats and they're level 70 and they go into Nax versus level 60, they will have a totally different experience because of the combat hit tables. I think that all they need to do is add in new content. Don't increase the level cap. There's no reason to.
A new meta, essentially. It would be strange to have an expansion that's the same level, especially if we don't get new talent or whatever this new direction would take us. The High Elves and Ogres are pretty massively copium, as players have wanted them for essentially 2 decades, and if Classic Plus players get them before retail, I can imagine the rioting that'll occur. The rest of the ideas are good, but I'm not sure how much of this is going to be legit. I feel like if this leak is real, it's from an employee who may have been on the team when it was in pre-production, so they're out of touch of what's actually coming. I'm giving this leak a solid 7 out of 10, only because Awakening has been leaked for the last 4 years, maybe even longer, and because every couple leaks has had Chris Metzen returning for far longer than 4 years. Whilst there have been other Classic Plus leaks, most of them have been pure unadulterated fan fiction, so I'm not really going to dive into them, but I'll dive into the ideas and themes behind those said leaks, such as going into Hyjal, a new zone in Gilneas, Borealis being added, a finished Karazhan, the mysterious portal in Winterspring which probably leads to Hyjal, the Emerald Dream, Grimbatol, Baal Modan, Ajara Crater, and more. A lot of
that's a good start. Okay.
Yeah.
We also want to add in the most important one, the Scarlet Citadel 40-man raid.
Would
that
be nice.
At the end of it, you receive.
Wait, actually, no. I'm not sure I want the Scarlet raid. I'm not gonna lie. Scarlet Monastery is probably the biggest F-tier dungeon in Classic. Like, I mean, it's boring. It's fucking boring. Especially the place with dogs. The courtyard, the training yard. Man, I dislike Scarlet Monastery as an instance so much. It's gloomy, it's boring, it's dull, it's not special at all. It feels bad, man.
The crystal that you need to take to Outland to have, what's his name? Turalian's son help purify the Ashbringer that you get from Naxxramas.
Terrellian's son is so pure, he actually just pissed on it to purify it, by the way.
and you can only purify the Ashbringer at the altar in the Scarlet Citadel raid, and then that turns it into the original Ashbringer.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe change the stats up, make it a little bit better. No.
And Sally Whitemane also pisses on the Ashbringer. And me. A lot.
Outland, no? No, there is Outland. No, you do go to Outland. And, like, you could even make a massive server event with, like, them adding Outland into the game, but without it being some kind of crazy thing, like unlocking the Dark Portal again. Imagine that. Like, the Dark Portal is shut down, there's a massive server-wide event in the same way it's the Scepter of the Shifting Sands.
Ooh, I actually... Wait, you know, this actually gives me a good idea. I never thought about this, but yes, I got a good idea from this. Well, we can easily implement... if we're talking about horizontal progression, we can easily implement things like events. For example, the Dark Portal opening is gonna be Outland, but it like opens only for 2 weeks every month or 2 months or something like that. So people don't just switch from Azeroth to Outlands and just stay there forever. That would honestly be so great. That would honestly kick ass. And we can do events like this. There's nothing... The technology is there. You can easily do it. You know, random events that spawn and then you have the chance to farm the things that you want. That would be amazing. Yeah. We can just add Outlands. We can even add Kill Jaden, you know, as a raid where we're going to the planet. As timed events that happen like for a week or something, like every month or so. That would be amazing. That would keep the game fresh. That would allow people to look forward to something. That would be crazy good. We don't need perpetual Outlands existing. I dislike that. The worst part about TBC was the fact that, well, did you play it? You probably did, didn't you? When I got to Outlands, I never went back to Azeroth. There was simply no need. You know, because I also didn't do the time dungeons, blah, blah, blah. But you get the point. There's essentially no need to even exist on Azeroth anymore. It's kind of dull.
And you unlock Outland again. That would be fun. Yeah, like unlock the portal. Like, yeah, the opening of the gates of AQ. Exactly. Flying? No flying. No flying.
Yeah, in Classic there's no flying.
Yep, Outland scaled to 60. Totally different than the way it is in retail WoW. Like, kind of some of the same general, like, trends, but totally different. And I think that, like, make Outland way more desolate. Like, no Terracar Forest. Like, I'm talking, like...
Yes, true.
Hellfire Peninsula, Blade's Edge Mountains, the Grand. That's it. No Netherstorm, no fucking Terracar Forest. Oh, Shadow Moon Valley, too. We have Shadow Moon Valley. Yeah, Shadow Moon Valley is the main area, right? Blade's Edge with no flying mount? Yes. And
oh, no!
Completely redesign and reimagine the zone.
That would be terrible, yes. Well, it would require reimagining and redesigning, but that's not a big deal, honestly. I'm fine with that.
But, like, that would be the style of it. Northrend? If they bring back Northrend, I want Icecrowned to be a barren wasteland tundra that is like, there's like water there, and it's like imagine sailing into like Antarctica, basically.
I don't know. That's not Northrend I know, because I played Warcraft 3. A barren wasteland of nothing is not what I imagine Icecrown to be, okay? But then again, I also don't imagine, honestly, it being what we currently have in Wrath of the Lich King. You know? I really don't.
And there's, like zombies and shit like that in Antarctica. It's supposed to be uninhabitable. Yeah, exactly.
Zombie women. Yeah, let's add that. Female hot zombies. The dream. Let's go.
Like the Warcraft 3 cinematic? Yes, exactly like that. Yes. Mm-hmm.
of leaks simply talk about Classic Plus as a finished vanilla, a world in which vanilla launched with all the content it had planned but had to scrap due to timelines and deliverables. Now, that is the ideal version of Classic Plus, a simple game that continues the classic approach and finishes Classic itself whilst fixing what's wrong with the game. And fuck off with the no changes shit, this is Classic Plus, we want all the goddamn changes. Basically, Classic Plus seems like
I think that they should be extremely conservative with changes.
Yes, but there should be changes, obviously.
The changes that I think they should make is they should buff a few of the underperforming classes. Like, they should give some sort of Moonkin mana return, and they should also do some form...
Bullshit, they should completely rework the talent points. The current talent point system is dull, boring, trash, shit. Don't pretend it's not. Okay? Don't pretend it's not. Don't pretend it's good that you have only one viable spec option for classes. The talent point system needs a complete rework. The skills also need to be better, more quality of life improvements for the skills. Paladin blessings shouldn't last 5 seconds. War cries from warriors shouldn't last 3 minutes, and stuff like that. Okay? Make every single buff baseline 1 hour. Okay, and let's get rid of the stupid, annoying reagents. Poisons for rogues, resurrection acorns for druids, and all of that useless garbage. No, it's just not necessary.
Of Moonkin mana return, like a
soulstone systems for warlocks. Also, bye. You don't need to farm shards for 20 minutes every day just to be miserable, okay? Let's get rid of all of that useless gunk that legitimately did not add anything to your enjoyment, that was just pure tedium for the sake of being pure tedium. Let's get rid of all of that.
Ret Paladin Crusader Strike. Maybe like something for Elemental Shaman. But otherwise, don't change anything else. Give Paladins a taunt. I don't know about that. Because, I mean, like, the thing is, like, Consecration and, like, the Paladin AoE threat is just so good and so much better than, like, everything else that I think that I'd be worried that they would invalidate Warriors if they had a taunt. I don't know if that would be good or not. But I think they should be very conservative with, like, the changes, but I do think they should make a lot of them.
Expansion after Cataclysm has run its course, with Classic Plus being in development right now but not ready for launch. We already know that Cataclysm Classic is coming, and I'd be genuinely surprised if Blizzard didn't do it. Heck, look at some BlizzCon 2021 official art. If that Deathwing over there is meant to represent Heroes of the Storm, I'll eat a sock, especially since Heroes of the Storm is scrapped. But Classic
I think they'll... Okay. Uh-oh. Look who it is.
What is this?
Plus will very likely be announced at the same time, so we can get hyped and prepare for Classic Plus whilst they bolster Cataclysm Classic's player numbers. But what if Classic Plus isn't enough for your leaking needs, and what if you just don't care about Classic Plus? Well then, here's the upcoming critically acclaimed Arcane Season 2, Warcraft Chronicles. The animated special made by, I think, the same people who made Edge Runners, I'm not sure honestly, with some night off looking shoulder pads, could be a great way to introduce the lore to the masses the same way Arcane did for League of Legends. What's that? Classic Plus and WoW.
Arcane completely scrapped the lore of League of Legends and it became canon. Which is good because Arcane kicks ass and I can't wait for the new season. V sucks, but everything else is prime. Okay?
Anime isn't enough for you?
Admittedly, I do think they did my girl Caitlyn dirty because she's not hot enough, honestly, here. But still.
Don't worry, your pretty little head one.
I'm kind of worried about Blizzard doing an anime. I think it's going to be garbage. I think what they should do is that, I hope they don't try to do a new story. Just do Arthas. Just do Arthas.
Every game sucks now with story.
No, just do Arthas. I don't want to see any sort of, like, dumb shit. Just do...
The Jailer will finally get his time to shine sooner, okay? That's what's gonna happen. We're gonna discover the Jailer sooner. Classic Plus, baby. It's gonna be great.
Arthas, it'll be simple. That's it.
Little bit, as they aren't the only thing being overwhelmed by leaks. Retail WoW has even more leaks than Classic Plus. We currently have 3 major leaks, such as WoW, A Pirate's Life for Me, which a lot of people covered already, an adventure to the other side of Azeroth where we discover some ancient lore and history. It sounds like a cool idea on the other side of Azeroth.
Dude, I fucking hate that idea, okay? So, one of the expansion ideas for retail is the dumbest stuff ever, and it goes something like this. Oh, turns out there's another continent no one knew about, and there's another old god there. Yeah, you know the old gods who knew about each other and stuff? They even talked to through the earth with one another. Yeah, those guys who never literally even mentioned the fact that there's another old god out there somewhere. Yeah, turns out, yeah, okay. Dude, that sounds like the stupidest, worst idea ever.
Azeroth is something Blizzard will eventually use, even if not now. The next leak is the Forgotten Dwarves of Kaz Algar, a dwarf, earthen, or elemental themed expansion, which we learned thanks to someone data mining on Reddit.
Yeah, dwarves sound even stupider than that, I'm not gonna lie. I absolutely hate, by the way, everything in Blizzard that's mechanical, okay? I hate the idea of mecha gnomes. I hate the idea that the jailer's just a Roomba that randomly got attached a fucking sword to it. I hate all of this, okay? It just cheapens everything. Everything turns out to be a robot. We came from I absolutely hate that.
Reddit, which was then covered on Wowhead. We know that
I don't know, really, a dwarf expansion. I think that idea, that's really cool, but I don't know if it's really gonna happen.
As long as we can kick them, though.
Like, after Wrath. I think, like, now it's like... It's like, it's too far. And also, I feel like dwarves are so focused, it's like a patch, not an expansion. Like, I wish that, like, back in Warcraft 2... Bro, you had all of, like, you had, like, the Stone Reaver clan. You had the Burning Blade clan. You had fucking the Frostwolf clan. You had the Deadeye clan. And you had all of these fucking, like, different tribes and chieftains of the tribes. Like, it was Warlords of Draenor. Yes, dude. And you had the Warlords of Draenor. They were the warlords. It was fucking insanely awesome. So fucking good. And then, like, all of them came to Dragon Maw clan. Yeah, exactly. And, like, it would be really cool if we had an expansion that brought in all of the clans of the, like, the Wildhammer dwarves, the Dark Iron dwarves, the, fuck.
I mean, if the orc clans are actually this fucking lame and stupid, how do you want dwarf clans to not be lame and stupid? Jesus. Nah, I'm against that. I don't think it's good.
I think 2 other ones I'm just not thinking of. Let's see, the dwarf maxing, yeah, exactly. Bronzebeard, yeah, all of them. And you had, like, you know, the Horde and Alliance ones, right? You bring back the orc clans and then the dwarf clans. That would be really cool.
This has some basis of truth, as the Heroic Edition mount reward for the next expansion is quite literally called the Algarian Storm Rider, which is quite literally a griffin of some kind. There is also lore in-game which talks about Kaz Algar, but only minimally. I could be wrong, but hey, if the shoe fits, you know what I mean? And the final leak is a continuation of the Wowhead data mining and is essentially called Stormbreak, which I think is based off WoW Eclipse as separately, but nonetheless it's about returning to Azeroth and the whole...
Yeah, I haven't heard about that. Also, Stormbreak? Sounds dumb already.
Place changing slowly but surely without intervention and questing, as well as new mechanics and systems. As you can see with Stormbreak and the MMO champion warriors debating this entire thing back and forth and trying to prove if these screenshots are real or fake. Whilst I don't know if this is real or not, it looks legitimate, looks high in quality, and seems to be almost an homage to vanilla, which makes sense for 11.0, an essential soft reboot of World of Warcraft. And the leaks for
They can't do a soft reboot, it has to be a hard reboot. Yeah, it has to be a hard reboot. You have to completely reboot the game. You can't just add in a bunch of other
I mean, yeah, a soft reboot accomplishes nothing. This is 100% true.
Random stuff, etc. It has to be a hard reboot. It change everything. There needs to be a cataclysm of everything. I think what they should do is they should make it to where, like, you can have all of your old stuff, but only in, like, a garrison or something like that. And otherwise, everything else is totally open, and it's all reset and everything's different.
Stormbreak themselves clearly have the same vibe and feeling that the
Mid-realm
Dragonflight
Reborn?
leaks had, so hey, never say never. So with all these leaks, all these images, these what ifs, this overwhelming hope that we, in Gordon Ramsay's words,
Finally, some good fucking food.
I personally believe that these leaks are all mostly false, not counting the data mining from Wowhead. Not because they have overwhelming evidence against them, but because these all seem to be in vain with what Blizzard has already planned. Nothing here is unique, outlandish, etc. It seems to be people guessing in the ballpark of something that Blizzard would actually already do. Dwarves and their shenanigans are kind of expected for retail, all because of the Algerian Stormrider leak. And Classic Plus could be literally any of the 100+ unfinished content portions from vanilla. So even
I
if
think that they should be very careful about adding things into Classic Plus.
Obviously.
I am kind of worried that they'll mess it up or do something wrong. I just hope that they listen.
I mean, this is what every one of us is actually saying. Yes, Classic Plus, we want new things, but those new things need to be old things.
To the community, and they don't make very unpopular decisions.
parts of these leaks are true, they were lucky guesses in my opinion, and I do think that they are off. How off, I don't know. Ignoring the leaks, what do you want for the future of WoW? Let me know in the comments
Hot playable female races.
below. If you liked the video,
Simple.
make sure you watch this video about my opinion on Classic
saw
Plus's
that.
future in 2024. Subscribe if you're cute, and if you're ugly, hit subscribe anyways. What do you have to lose? Ebonheart out.
I guess I'll subscribe then. I think it's a good video. I'm gonna link it to you guys. Ebonheart only has 1,000 subs. Make sure to give it a like if you enjoyed the video.
Well,
I can always
actually 1.5k, but yeah.
appreciate somebody who makes a 6-minute video. Okay, especially as somebody who makes usually 1 hour and 6-minute videos. So yeah, there's the video right there. Make sure to give it a like. I like that video a lot. I will have to say, I think that they need to focus on Classic.
Obviously.
I do. I think retail WoW is so played out.
You know what? I agree. Retail WoW is played out. It's garbage. But also, it's bigger than Classic. Currently, okay? Retail is still the biggest MMO that is. And, you know, while that doesn't change, Blizzard's probably not gonna try and intentionally split their player base in half too much. That is also kind of a thing. Well, maybe... Well, Blizzard is going to announce Classic Plus at some point. It's unavoidable at this point. Especially now that everyone's just talking about it more and more and more and more. Yeah.
So drawn out. Like, retail WoW...
Anyway, this was Quizzer Said. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.